player. We get to see a player not necessarily play back-to-back, but we get to see them play multiple sets. We saw Flower versus Java. Flower took Java to game 5, which, I mean, it's not an upset because Flower didn't win. Java he had everything on his side in terms of statistics, so Flower is looking kind of like an elimination side, the demon right now.
Yeah, but I mean, Shade is looking very, very powerful at the beginning of this game 1, just finding the holes in Flowers' zoning. And we're seeing, I mean, just the speed differential. I think Shade is like a lot faster, it looks like, than Flowers. So kind of using this speed to try and overwhelm Flower, get a lot of whiff punishes just like that. Trying to get a whiff punish on D-Light, which is wild.
Alright, able to get the stomps here in though. Throwing Shade further off stage. Tries to go for these D6, and yeah, I feel like just by watching 2 sets of Flower, we're starting to figure out the flow chart here.
And we noticed that Shade is playing kind of around the D-Light range, just playing more airborne right now. Knows that that's going to be the main confirm. Oh, missing the okay, gets it there. A little custom. You know, there was multiple ways to get the KO there. Opted for the down air.
It's a very, very awkward position for the D-Light to fight the knockout, because you're sometimes too close for the Sair. Sometimes the opponent isn't damaged enough for D-Light there, and sometimes they're too damaged for D-Light there. So you kind of have to be very experienced with the weapon in such a tight situation like that.
Oh my god. Flower trying to put on the control right now. Shade getting the end light, trying to find an anti-air. Oh my god. You know, for 2 slower weapons, they're looking pretty fast. They are dancing.
They are definitely dancing right now. I mean, the weapons are a little bit slower, but the movement, movement and the movement stance, the movement speed, which Shade is on the movement stance. Flower actually rocking the strength here. Definitely seeing some footsies. DC going all the way out. I mean, at that point, I really like that DC option. Flower with a lack of options. If you go all the way out and Flower tries to go towards the wall to touch it, Shade just needs to steer it backwards, and it's still gonna connect.
Yeah, that's the strength of those Rayman 6. You have a lot of, like, you can control your drift as opposed to other characters. Oh! All
right. No, okay, let's not get carried away. One time is enough. Second time around, Flower is going to foresee the option, and he's going to be able to get that punish, which is going to lead to the knockout. Shade throwing away that stock lead, but he still has a massive damage lead.
Yeah, opting for the bow. Like, potential good neutral here into the gauntlets. Try to get another anti-air there. Shade baiting it out. Oh!
Another DC coming out.
D-Light recovery.
Nice usage of these D-signatures so far. I'm not sure if Flower picked Demon Island or left Demon Island open, but you knew what you were going up against if you're allowing that to happen against the Rayman. 600 damage and 3 knockouts. Looking a little bit late and a little bit suboptimal in terms of finding the knockouts. You might have some troubles finding those on the Rayman. How do you feel about this set so far, Junebug? This is a fairly telling game. We just mentioned that Flower is a demon, and I mean, Shade is kind of looking like he might be able to take him down.
Yes, I mean, Shade, I'm very impressed by, 1, their movement, which I pointed out, and 2, they were opting for a lot of D-Light recovery, which is a confirm, if I'm not mistaken, versus, like, side light recovery, where you have to get a read on a dodge, or, like, if they don't do a dodge, potentially. Which I think is just like an interesting playstyle choice, because I see so much sidelight recovery, or sidelight weight into recovery, but I guess I just haven't seen as much D-Light recovery.
I mean, D-Light recovery, you're in tournament. D-Light recovery is a slightly, I wouldn't say slightly, it's a much harder combo to pull off. Of course, these are professional players, so they probably don't have too much issues hitting these combos, but it's tournament. You might get nervous, you might want to try and go for a slightly more basic option. The axe there connecting, but Shade is gonna gimp themselves!
Oh, it's so unfortunate. And yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about Shade's tech skill. I mean, something that he seems like he's very confident in if he's going for something that's a little harder, like D-Light recovery. But at the same time, you know, in tournament you make flubs like that. That's not gonna feel good. for the confidence.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now we're moving into the land where I can't explain what was happening, June. I mean, it didn't connect, but okay, that's not going to be the knockout just yet. He didn't get the touch either. There, perfect timing before he was able to touch the wall.
Yeah, and Flower kind of shutting down all of Shade's momentum. Shade looking a little slower, looking a little lost. Oh my god, his Flower just racks up this damage. Put him in the blender.
The hammer blender too, the Yumiko signature. I mean, if you see someone connecting multiple hits on Yumiko and a neutral signature on hammer is involved, you know that something's about to go down.
Yeah, and I mean, this could potentially be a 3-stock. Shade getting that stock finally, but I mean, this is pretty much anything is going to lead to a KO here. We need a massive comeback, especially when, okay, I was going to say that the Flower got the hammer. Still sticking with the bow. Okay.
All right, on the unarmed now, looking for that D-light. Shade doing a great job at spacing around it, not allowing it to happen. Now over to the hammer, able to punish that whiffed dare. Tries to go for a D-light. Dare this time around is going to connect. Flower having a little bit, having some difficulties finding the knockout at the very end, but able to do so.
Yeah, okay, so let's see this again.
Very well there.
Oh, just like searing into the blast zone there. So unfortunate. Are we gonna get a? Oh, all right. Oh yeah, is this a replay? Okay, so
it would have been so good. I think.
Oh, he wanted the wall touch maybe before going for the Sair. It was like very close to the wall. So strange. Anyway, Flower gets handed a game off the backs of that. It's so much momentum, right? But now we're on Miami Dome. A little more neutral. So.
Larger walls. You are fighting. You're fighting a Rayman Axe D-Sig and a Gauntlet D-Sig, which are both going to be okay. Shade. All right. This time around, showing us how it's supposed to be done on the offstage. It doesn't lead to a knockout just yet, though. Clash is gonna lead to the knockout, but it gives us a chase dodge.
I can't believe neither of them got knocked out there. Somehow, Flower living by the skin of his teeth. Shade throwing out some Sig, putting on the pressure as he gets the knockout finally with the signature.
Okay, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to recover from that offstage encounter. And Shade, I'm worried now every time Flower is offstage now. Something that I'm noticing from Shade, which I think is a very good sign, is that Shade really likes to go for crazy things offstage. He really chills out more on that whenever Flower is on hammer. He respects that hammer offstage as he should.
Right, yeah, the reversal potential is just so huge with hammer, as we discussed earlier. Flower, getting hit with Axe near for that. Will Flower opt for the hammer soon? Okay, we're seeing it. But Shade just end lights back to center stage. Oh my god. Finding the holes in this hammer play too. Oh, nice weapon toss into the Sair. Sig? Nah, I thought a Sig was coming.
It is going to be a Sig, but it's going to be a down signature from Flower. Shade using the platform to his advantage though, so he doesn't have to fall into it. Stomp Sair finally comes out, and that's going to be the stock. Flower playing from behind a little bit here. Down in red, so he's sticking to this bow for the damage build.
What is it with Rayman players always going ham off stage? Is that a...
I think down signature just changes people. Rayman, and I know what you mean. It's not exclusive to pro players. I can tell you, I don't know a single Rayman player around like above 2100 level, below 2600 level that isn't incredibly flashy offstage and goes for massive call-out options.
Yeah, once you get that power, you cannot go back. But Flower trying to answer back.
Oh, nice wake up.
Okay. Yeah,
maybe
trying to get a little cheesy edge guard, but that's the problem with dealing with hammer off stage. You're gonna get reversal by that recovery, and I feel like Flower even telegraphed it. Flower was fighting in center stage and just went to edge. There was no reason for Shade to go out there, but his Rayman bones just called out to him. He had to go for it.
unfortunate misinput there at the very end too. If Shade was able to throw out a GC anything instead of a side sig, I'm pretty sure he would have been able to get the wall touch. Either way, he was definitely he was playing with a stock that he was about to lose quite soon. Either way, I smell the desync. Flower also smells the desync. He's trying to bait it out, but Shade is staying patient, not getting baited.
Okay, Flower just playing very, very solid on this bow right now. Gets the Sayer. Just anti-airs. Whiff punish on the end light, and then switching to the hammer. This is where Flower feels so consistent in all of his sets. Oh no, missing confirm there.
Oh, weapon throw to break neutral and interrupt that signature. Flower able to get the stomp there in though. Barely knocking out. Not just quite yet. Down signature, not going to connect.
Sayer, no dodge here. Oh, but might get it back. Yep. The weapon toss.
The weapon toss, just in case. I mean, okay, stop Sayer is gonna seal the deal. Weapon toss I really like because even though Shade didn't try anything, if Shade did go for attack, the weapon toss would have interrupted it. This off stage, I can't. I want to count the amount of times that Flower would have been knocked out. I'm pretty sure that's a knockout. This is also a knockout.
Dodge up, into the Sayer, managing to get resources back. Shade, I don't know why Shade went down there that time. Okay, with the D-Light Sayer. I mean, pretty even in terms of damage coming out from both the bow and the could have been an end sig there. In terms of damage coming from Flower, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, it is that. Oh my God! Look at the axe damage.
414.
Gauntlet's not working out at all for Shade right now. He's got to figure out something with those gauntlets. And I mean, versus Bow, it does seem like it's kind of hard. Flower is really, really good at shutting down. Oh, okay, we got a skin swap.
We got the crossover swap. It's Shade whipping out the Swamp Bob Fyrkant, who on an international scale is known as SpongeBob SquarePants. This not legend swap, the crossover swap. Give it maybe that little bit of a mental boost.
Yeah, everybody wants to win with a goofy guy, and there's no goofier guy than SpongeBob.
Oh yeah. All right. Trying to stick close to the ground here and find some end lights. Flower is able to pick up a hammer now. This hammer into axe matchup. I mean, Shade is sticking almost exclusively to this axe. I feel like the hammer into axe has been working out very well for Flower.
Right. But this bow has been like pretty neutral, if not Flower favored. Of course, going for the desig there. Flower scouted it out. Flower's gonna be looking for the hammer switch soon. Let's see. All right, side light.
Tries to go for a commitment there with the neutral signature as well, but Shade staying safe. We're going back to some intensive neutral here. Neutral signature not going to be hitting.
Can Shade do anything with the gauntlets is the question. Can he get something started? Okay, side light, looking for a dodge maybe. Okay, big. Oh, but doesn't get a near.
Okay.
Sayer, weapon toss.
Oh! Nice option. GC end light to stop an in his tracks there on the offstage. As he's going to be sticking to this hammer now for the hammer into axe matchup. Whenever Shade picks up that weapon, he'll get it quite quickly. Blessed with a pretty good spawn there. He throws away the axe, dude. I don't know if he has the stream open. He heard us doubting his gauntlets. He wants to prove something right now.
Yeah, I don't believe it, but I mean, let's see if he could potentially. And to be fair to Shade in game 1, we did see a lot of those D-Light recoveries.
Oh!
We just haven't seen anything since. And then wow, what an edge card from Flower. That was really, really brutal.
Going all the way down and finishes it off with a recovery as well. Able to pick up another hammer here. Shade waiting by that edge. Trying to throw out. Oh, and that's going to be stock though.
That is such a funny looking pillar from Hammer. Just the down air into the recovery. It's like, go up, go down. Go up. All right. This matchup is looking rough for Shade. He's going to need a lot of damage unanswered, and he knows Gauntlet has not been good for him. even Bo is sort of getting the best of him in this Axe matchup. All right.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're moving into a much more slow-paced and patient playstyle right here from both players, and I feel like Flower's bow has definitely been that's been Flower's strong suit, or definitely the strong suit of his bow. Whenever the pace gets turned down just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Shade seems to be going through a weapon crisis, whereas Flower has a very clear game plan in that you know, the bow is going at the low and mid percents, and then once you hit the high percents, I'm going to pick up the hammer and get a knockout.
You see it right there. Yeah, throwing that weapon away, picks up the hammer, and we're all waiting for the D-Light there, but the D-Light isn't going to hit. Shade able to punish it. Nair isn't going to work either. DC could have been something. Flower is kind of whipping right now, and Shade is capitalizing it, getting some punishes here.
No D-Lights have been connected so far, but they've been coming out. All right, N-Light from center stage. Is the Rayman DC gonna come out? No.
Oh, the recovery doesn't hit. Triple exclamation mark, and the N-Light is gonna be the knockout. And now here, Shade is swapping over to the gauntlets, and Flower. I don't think they primed up a hammer. This is gonna be a bow.
Okay. I mean, this is, I think, still pretty solid from Shade. If there's one weapon that you could potentially get a very, very huge offstage, low percent play with, it's gonna be the gauntlets.
Oh, but Flower is able to pick up the hammer. Weapon throw N-Light is gonna connect, though. Flower just can't find a hit by the looks of things. Weapon throw N-Light. Sayer is whipped, and there's no return of the damage the second time around. The Dare is gonna connect, and now Flower closes out the set in a nail-biter of a final game.
Yeah, wow. I mean, Flower really, really capitalizing off, you know, okay, that N-Light GC was huge. Okay, here it is. Recovery, weapon toss down. Oh my god, no resources.